Captain Marcus Chen had a reputation that stretched across 17 star systems. The human pilot who said no to everyone. The Galactic Council had tried. The Zinthari Empire had offered wealth beyond measure. Even the pacifist Lumini Collective had extended their crystalline hand in friendship. Each time Marcus had fired up his ship's engines and disappeared into the void. Another delegation? Marcus muttered, watching the sleek Valorian cruiser dock with his battered freighter, the Wanderer's Echo. He didn't bother hiding his annoyance as the airlock hissed open. What stepped through wasn't what he expected. She was Valorian, but unlike any he'd encountered, most Valorians carried themselves with military precision, their scaled skin gleaming like polished armor, their multifaceted eyes cold and calculating. This one wore a worn flight jacket over her biosuit, and her scales had the dulled patina of someone who'd spent more time in cockpits than council chambers. "Captain Chen," she said, her voice carrying the harmonic undertones of her species. "I'm Commander Cyrix. I've been sent to—" "Let me stop you right there," Marcus interrupted, not bothering to stand from his pilot's chair. "Whatever alliance, trade agreement, or mutual benefit arrangement you're peddling, I'm not interested. I fly solo. Always have, always will." Cyrix's head tilted, an amused gesture among her kind. "I've read your file. 47 diplomatic rejections. You've turned down enough credits to buy a small moon, and you once ejected an ambassador's gift, a living star crystal worth millions out of your cargo bay. It was eating my ship's hull. It was trying to bond with your vessel as a gesture of friendship." Marcus finally turned to face her. "What do you want, Commander?" She walked to the observation window, gazing at the nebula swirling outside. "Do you know why humans fascinate us, Captain? It's not your aggression or your adaptability. It's your stubbornness, your refusal to be absorbed into our systems, our hierarchies, our neat little boxes. Flattery won't work either." "I'm not flattering you. I'm stating a fact." She turned back to him. 3 cycles ago, I was the Valorian Empire's top diplomatic pilot. I ferried ambassadors, negotiated trade routes, and smiled while politicians talked circles around problems that needed action. Marcus's eyes narrowed. I quit, took my personal fighter and left. Now I'm just a pilot like you, and I've seen what you've seen. The Council's bureaucracy is suffocating genuine cooperation. The empires are so busy posturing they miss real threats. She pulled out a data crystal, tossing it to Marcus. He caught it reflexively. 3 days ago, I intercepted a distress signal from the Outer Reach. A colony, mixed species including humans, under attack by Void Reapers. The Council is still deliberating whether it falls under their jurisdiction. By the time they decide, everyone will be dead. Marcus plugged the crystal into his console. The data painted a grim picture. 6,000 souls, 48 hours of supplies left, and a swarm of biomechanical horrors picking apart their defenses. "Why bring this to me?" Cyrix moved closer, her golden eyes locked on his. "Because you're the only pilot I know who's crazy enough to fly into Reaper territory. And because I'm asking you to break your precious rule just this once. I work alone. So do I. Usually." She paused, and for the first time, her military composure cracked just slightly. "But those people don't have time for our pride, Captain. They need someone who can navigate the asteroid field surrounding their colony. Something that requires 2 pilots working in perfect sync. My ship has the firepower. Yours has the agility. Together we might actually pull this off." Marcus stared at the data, jaw clenched. He'd spent 15 years avoiding exactly this. Partnerships that led to compromises, compromises that led to obligations, obligations that turned free pilots into cogs in someone else's machine. "And after?" he asked quietly. "After, you go back to your solo runs. I go back to mine. No alliance. No diplomatic ties. No strings." She extended her clawed hand. "Just 2 pilots who decided that some things matter more than their pride. Just this once." Marcus looked at her hand, then back at the distress signal. 48 hours. 6,000 lives. He thought about all the times he'd said no. All the reasons he'd flown alone. Good reasons. Solid reasons. But Cyrix wasn't asking him to join an empire or bow to a council. She was asking him to fly. "Want a partner or just another solo trip?" she asked, her voice softer now. Marcus stood, ignoring her hand and moving to his navigation console. "Strap in, Commander. We're burning hard for the Outer Reach in 5 minutes, and when this is over, we never speak of it again. A clicking sound echoed through the bridge, Valorian laughter. Agreed. As the Wanderer's Echo and Cyrix's fighter, Crimson Dawn, detached and roared toward the endangered colony, Marcus allowed himself the smallest smile. Maybe, just maybe, saying yes didn't always mean losing yourself. Sometimes it meant finding what you were meant to do all along. The human pilot who said no to everyone had finally found the one question he couldn't refuse. Not because it came from a government or an empire, but because it came from someone who understood what it meant to fly free, and what it meant to choose, just once, not to fly alone. The stars streaked past as two lone pilots raced against time, bound not by treaties or obligations, but by something far stronger, the unspoken understanding between those who've touched the void and returned. And in the cold mathematics of space, that made all the difference.